Sorry I'm late, sir. It's just that...
Quite all right, Miss Atsuko. If you would please get into position, we can begin the procedure.
Yes, of course, Mr. Winters.
Today is the day we've all been waiting for. The day our forces become the greatest in the world. For too long, wars have raged overseas, coming to no conclusion. No matter how many smaller battles we win or lose, it's time we took the stronger step toward the peace we desire. Literally. Here you see 10 individuals ready to take the lead in that step. These brave men and women beside me, these brave, brave soldiers, are here today to become a symbol of a new era. Not just for America, but for the world as we know it. How, you might ask? Well, I have dedicated the past 7 years of my life to the development of this serum. Since I was young, the exploration of genetics and inheritance of dominant alleles has fascinated me. In genetics, dominance is everything. And so I have developed a serum, this serum, for complete genetic dominance in every field. Miss Cho Atsuko, who has been my faithful student for this past year, will now explain the procedure for today.
Me? Well... The experiment outlines a series of micro-injections to all the major muscles, including the brain, whereby the serum infusion will cause immediate cellular enhancement. The newly modified cells supply the subject with superior speed, agility, strength, and brain power than that prior to the serum. Similar to the spreading of disease within the body, in place of virus or bacteria, all that spreads is pure power.
Thank you, my dear. Now, if you will please help Miss Scott into the machine.
Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new era.
God damn it. Why is calculus so freaking hard? Em, can't you help instead of just sitting there?
I'm not just sitting here. I'm reading. Thank you very much.
Oh, come on, Emily. It'll take you like 2 seconds. You're way better at this than me. I'll do anything if you help me get this out of the way before practice.
Fine. Read me the question.
You're a saint. Okay, so...
I knew you'd be in here, Em.
I told ya. Can't keep apart young love.
What are you guys doing here? I thought you were off throwing a bucket of water over Alexander. Or was that tomorrow's plan?
Oh, we already did that.
We were just coming to warn you to hide, Emily.
What's she meant to be hiding from?
We may or may not have...
Told Alex it was M's idea.
And he believed you, didn't he?
Well, he believes anything if you pretend to cry enough.
Someday you guys are going to have to find a new punching bag, because he's going to end up punching you back. Just wait and see.
God, how old are you? You sound like my mom.
Yeah, what gives? You used to be all about this kind of thing in middle school, and now look at you, reading a newspaper and doing calculus with a senior. You're almost as boring as Levy by now.
Would you guys stop bringing Levi down all the time? It's not criminal for him to like working as much as he does, okay? And frankly, I think it's amazing how much effort he puts in to try and make this school a better place. Maybe if you guys showed up to council meetings once in a while, you'd actually know what he's like.
Wow, Em, didn't realize you had a crush on Levi, too.
Clearly has a thing for upperclassmen.
Shut it, you two. Em, do you want to sit back down? They don't mean anything by it. You know what they're like.
Of course I do. I grew up with them, remember? Anyway, can't you two go back to your own classroom if you're done here?
Not like it's your classroom either. You don't have any more reason to be here than we do.
Oh, but she does have a reason, and his name is Sebastian Grayson.
Would you two shut up? I'm trying to read, and Seb is doing his homework. Something I know you've never done in your lives.
So what are you reading that's so interesting?
Some lawsuit, probably. You know she wants to be a lawyer. Hearing about bench warrants is like sex to her.
There's this article from yesterday. This scientist who's exclusive in genetics has invented some kind of specialized enhancement serum. Looks like the experiment was a success, don't you think?
Jesus, they look like Arnold Schwarzenegger had sex with a buffalo on steroids.
Who's that skinny guy in the middle?
The inventor genius. What's his name, anyway?
Nicholas Winters.
Sounds like some kind of British king of the nerds.
Well, you would think that about the man who's just been named the greatest medical practitioner of the century.
No wonder he looks so smug in that photo.
Are there any cool side effects? Like, do they start spouting extra arms or something?
Supposedly, their mental capacities have skyrocketed too. They've run diagnostics and it seems their IQs are higher than any ever recorded.
Looks like we need to abduct one of those men for you, Emily.
What on earth are you talking about?
Well, just think. Huge brain and huge muscles for a perfect mix of Levy and Seb. He'd probably turn out to be your dream husband, don't you think?
Piss off, Cora! Emily has higher priorities than finding a boyfriend, even if you don't.
Spoken like a true man in the friend zone. Anyway, if there's no creepy mutations to hear about, then there's no more fun to be had here. Come on, Cora, let's see if we can sneak into the boys' locker room and steal Alex's gym clothes before he can change.
Those two are so annoying. Twins with too much time on their hands really are the devil.
Yeah, well, you didn't know them in 3rd grade. Still having trouble with that assignment?
What assignment? All I see in front of me is a piece of paper whose life ambition is to depress me as much as possible. I'll just do it after fencing, I guess. Bell's about to go for class anyway. You should probably get going too. Hey, what are you doing?
I'll do it at council meeting. If anyone asks what I'm doing, I'll say I'm taking notes.
There's no way Levi's gonna fall for that.
Some people might think I'm so close to Levi because I have a thing for him. But what they don't know is that getting on the good side of the student vice president means you get away with a whole lot more.
Never knew you were so cunning, Em. Let's just hope for your sake he doesn't think it's for the reason everyone else does.
He's smart enough to know it's not.
More champagne, my dear?
Oh, go on then. After nothing but champagne for the past 3 weeks, I still can't pass it up.
To us.
To you, Nicholas. After all, this is all because of you. I could never have done what you...
To us, dear Cho. I insist. How could I have ever come this far without you?
Oh, you're exaggerating. I carried your files and followed your instructions, like a little girl learning how to bake. You're too humble, Nicholas.
Please, call me Nick. Surely we've reached that point by now, my dear. Besides, it's you who's being humble. You'll never know how invaluable your input to the theory has been to me.
Well, if you insist. To us.
To us.
I don't know if I'll ever get used to this kind of life. It's rather overwhelming, don't you think?
At first, I suppose it is, but I can definitely get used to it. I've waited all my life for it to be like this, and now I finally have what all my brothers have.
Did all 6 have something like this?
Not quite like this. Because with you here, I have something better.
I'm sure you're not saying what I think you are, so if you're just playing with me like everyone else does, then please don't.
I'm not everyone else, Cho. But what is it you think I'm saying?
It doesn't matter. You shouldn't want anything to do with me. There's no way you should ever... I mean...
Love you?
What I mean is... You were the only one that... Ever since I met you, and... You didn't use me. Not like everyone else. You didn't flirt with me, like all the guys in my class always did. And they only wanted to date me to show me off to their friends. But you saw my mind. Who I was inside. You gave me a job the second I left university, and I can never be more grateful. You make me feel like I'm a human being. Nick, oh God, why am I telling you this? You probably think I'm so...
It's all right, Joe. You don't have to say anything else. Please stop crying. You can turn this off. Do you trust in me enough to try just one thing to stop you crying?
Yes. No one's ever kissed me like that before.
No one's ever loved you like this before. What a pain. Who knew she'd be so easy? Took all the fun right out of it. What use is a woman if they don't even put up a fight? Pathetic girl.
The hell was that?
Nick, come back to bed. You've got an important interview tomorrow, remember?
How good of you to remind me, my butterfly.
I'm your butterfly.
It's your name, is it not? Such a beautiful name for such a beautiful girl. What would I ever do without you?
Just kiss me, and you'll never have to know.
Mr. Winter, sir! We're having a few issues, sir!
With what? What is it? I'm busy in here.
With the serum subject, sir!
With the serum subjects? What happened? What could possibly have happened? What's wrong with his arm?
Each week we've run diagnostics as you told us to. The results have been coming back almost as expected. But more recently there seems to be a spike. Here, you can read them for yourself.
How are these numbers even possible? How can a person have a heart rate of nearly 200 beats per minute? How can they all have that? By all rights, the effects of tachycardia should have killed them.
Not all, sir. Not all of the women, anyway. 2 remain with levels as they should be from our predictions, but the other 3 are like the men.
Every week we tested them in their fitness levels, and every week their levels continued to rise. We ran the diagnostics for brain activity, and we couldn't see anything. The change was too fast. Each week it's gotten more intense. We've noticed they're also less capable of mundane activities, writing and speaking and such, and you know how after every test we ask them to describe their muscle fatigue or what they think of the program?
Yes, of course.
Well, as of yesterday's program, they didn't seem to be able to speak. They didn't eat or drink the whole day, and they haven't for the past 3 days either, not from what we've seen. They did nothing.
Not quite. Nothing.
Yes, well, they walked around, bumping into things and mumbling and following scientists and assistants everywhere until reaching the point where they had to be restrained in their rooms. They've become more and more violent towards others, even having attacked and bitten Jones here tonight as we went to check on them. They've been making noise all night.
Did you know about this? Did you know about all that's been happening down there?
Nick,
Joe, did you know about all that's been happening down there?
No! I've spent nearly all my time with you because I'm your assistant. I've only been down to diagnostics twice in 3 weeks, but I was never shown the stats. I never knew anything like this was happening.
Sir, the human body is completely incompatible with the serum. At an absolute incapacity to handle it. We've come to the conclusion that mental and physical overexhaustion and stimulation has triggered the mental decay. Perhaps even a physical decay. Which started out slow, but has sped up exponentially within the weeks after its injection.
The serum was just too powerful. Even 1 dose would have been too much.
Remind me how much was in 1 dose?
Yeah, 5 cc, sir.
And how much was the dosage we supplied?
100 cc, sir.
Oh my God.
God help them.
God help us all, sir.
Help us all. What do you mean by that, Moira?
Jones, you better show her your arm.
Your arm? What happened? Oh my god! But your blood, why is it so... No, it's not blood, is it? It's...
The serum. We've all theorized that bites from the affected individuals can place copies of it into the bloodstream of the bitten. We don't know if it will affect everyone the same way, but there's no taking chances. Anyone who's bitten is a threat.
You're an epidemiologist, Winters. You know what you've done. You know what you've created. The soldiers have all escaped.
What?
We came here to warn you, so that you could escape too. It's too late for me, but we need you alive. Knowing that you doomed America, perhaps the world, may give you the incentive to make an antidote. I trust you are capable of that.
Nick, we need to get out of here. We need to get everyone
Moira,
out
can
of
I
here.
trust you to call for my helicopter? Get as many unbitten staff as you can up here and do whatever it takes. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir. Kennedy, come with me.
Of course.
Get your clothes on, Atsuko, and get as many of my files as you can from the safe. We'll need as much of my research as possible to even think about an antidote.
But where are we going to go?
Somewhere. Somewhere far away. Anywhere that's safe.
There is nowhere safe. Not anymore.